Well, here's little Oscar. And Oscar's had a bad leg, haven't you, Oscar? Hey, you had to have a little bit of medication last night, didn't you, for your foot? Hmm?
Is he walking on it alright this morning?
Yeah, he's walking okay this morning. A little bit tender, I think. But, had some, what's that medication called, Fudge?
Metacam.
Metacam, it's just a painkiller, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. But it seemed to send him off to sleep.
That settled him down, didn't it?
Yeah, little Sophie
the way,
wonders
Sophie,
what's
darling.
going on. The crate's going up, so we'll get ready and get on the road. Well, it was time to leave Le Faou, and things were drying out somewhat. Lovely bright morning, and shame to leave really. It's a very pretty area. But we had things to do, and we were heading further west and south. But because of the closed road, we had to drive through the town again, with a little city they call it. And what a shame, we had another chance to look at these beautiful houses. But of course, we did have another little narrow street just at the end here, which was unavoidable really because of the road closure. But it was marked 3.5 tonne, so we did we did get through there okay. It was a one-way street, and once we turned the corner here, you can see the mud on the road here, and this is where the vehicles were going up and down with the down that road on the right there where the mud was. So we're heading to the west point where there's a memorial, and we're going to pass through Crozon, which is another large town. We didn't get the opportunity to see it, but we crossed this bridge and through Crozon and down towards the point, and just went for a nice little walk really, quite a quiet walk. There was a coach party there, but lovely countryside, and we passed through this little place here, which is just after Crozon, and there's a lovely beach. We walked along here, and some little shops and things, which you'll see in a moment. But just to the right, at the roundabout, this one here, there's some shops, and then at the next little junction, this one I believe, if you look to the right you can see the Aire on the right hand side there. We continued on down to the memorial. We'll come down to this little point just past Crozon, and I've found a free car park, and we're right on the end of an outcrop of land here. Going to go down and see if we can see a view down this little road. And we've come down to the memorial here. There are steps down to it, so I'll take you down the steps just to look at it. We're right at the point now, and very, not quite the most westerly point, but there's a coach party along with us here and walking along the path. So there are lots of names here. And the monument. So we've walked a little further along, and I can just about get these in, I think, if the dog stands still for a minute. Oscar's done very well on his walk today. His right front is giving him trouble. He's limping a bit, so we're now going back to the van. We've been out about 20 minutes, so he's done well. Good exercise. He'll probably have a nap now. Good lad. Well, we made it back. So he's waiting for me to open the door because we're going to put the kettle on, aren't we, Sue?
Yeah.
Well, good morning. Got a little bit earlier this morning to walk down to the beach, and just trying to think of the name of the place we're at. It's Crozon. We're just along the coast from Crozon. Crozon's up on the hill there, and we're at one of the beaches just outside the town or city. We're on a stretch of one-night stays, and this tonight is on an Aire. It's a Camping Car Park Aire, and I'll show you that in just a moment. We've had a good night's sleep. It was nice and quiet. It's floodlit as well. There is free parking just along the road from the Aire, which you know, you don't get the waste emptying facilities and so on that you get, the water and the barriered car parking that you get, camper car parking that you get if you're just on the street. So we quite like these, and it was around about they're around about £13 a night. I'll put the price for this one on screen and the name of it. I'm down at the seafront, like I said. There's a lot of walkers and runners around. It's just after 7 o'clock in the morning, and everything's waking up, so there's vans moving around delivering things, but it's quite a small place here. Just a strip of quite nice little specialist shops, a little bit pricey, the gift shops and boutiques, that sort of thing, and some nice restaurants and cafes to sit out and watch what's around. So I'll take a few shots and then we'll walk back to the Aire. So this is what we came down to see, this lovely beach. The tide is pretty much up. I think it's just on the turn. This little area here was full earlier when I first came down. No dogs allowed on this beach. It is a family beach, this one, and there's trampolines and things that you see at these sort of places. Up on the hill, right in the distance there, is Crozon city. And then along this street, this is the main seaside town, really, seaside area. There's all the little shops and cafes and creperies and so on. And we come to a little roundabout here, and then the road goes off. You may have seen in our video from yesterday that we visited the point down right on the coast. Really reminded us of the Lizard Point in Cornwall. Very, very similar climate, of course, here, and sort of gorse and heathers all around on there. Just over to the facing the sun here a little bit, but there is a marina down the end there, and more sort of cafes and bars along that stretch. There's one in particular we like the look of, which is under refurbishment down there. A very pretty little cafe, and they're varying in prices and what's to offer. So as you can see, there is a supermarket just behind this restaurant, and I'll show you that in the next shot. My long shadow of the morning. This has a little sculpture that's in a little waiting area, little seating area, just near the shops here. There's a pharmacy over the other side, and just here is the supermarket. It's a U Express, which is quite a good size supermarket, and we went in this marine shop here yesterday and found some really lovely clothing, but they were just a tad above our price range. Even some of the more well-known brands were talking about a couple of €100 for a jacket. So we won't be buying those today. More of these signs here. The limit of 2.1 metres, no motorhomes. A lot of these car parks don't allow motorhomes.
We're seeing it increasingly across France, but there is further down the road car parking specifically for camper vans. So you do have to look for your own car park space. Don't think you're going to get in the normal car parks, because you won't. Approaching the Aire now. There is a public toilet here which is 20 cents. This car park here is not barriered, and I think they say it's 150 spaces there. It doesn't look like 150 to me. I think it includes the car park to my right here, which is barriered, just by the supermarket. As you can see, everywhere's tidy. There's not an abundance of bins, but there are these big recycling places. I've walked past two in the last 5 minutes. One of them had a strange locking. You had to put a swipe card over it to open it. So I used a little litter bin, like a little street bin, rather than the recycling unit. So I don't know what that's all about. If any of you have come across that, visiting France before, you see these big underground bins where they take the lids off, and then there's big underground storage under here. So you've got bottle recycling, plastics, and then this one here is an example. You've got press button which we can open with our camper car card, but it has a swipe or a lock on it. So here's the camper car park, and we're at Crozon Morgat, which you can see there's only 19 spaces on this one, quite a small one, all tarmac and barriered, and there's a barrier operating post there on the green next to the toilet. And here you've got the motorhome service point with fresh water, chemical waste, and a grate in the road for your grey waste. As we look down the camping car park, Smurf is down here on the right.
Well, a nice early start this morning. We came through some beautiful countryside, and we're now, it's just after, it's about 10:30 in the morning, and we're already at Quimper in the city, on the municipal campsite in the city. And we were asked if we wanted grass or hard stand, and I said, is the grass firm? And I think with that the lady thought I meant, can we have a hard stand? We've got electric, we've got 16 amp electric on this one in the corner here. So and they're all new. The camp electrics has all been updated by the looks of it. But they've got nice. Just moving away because there's a camper coming around the corner. Nice lighting around the site as well. So obviously spent some money on it. And we're going to go into the city now. So we'll walk along the river and then get to the old city of Quimper.
Now we are near these flats here. You might argue that you're overlooked by them, just over here. But again, we're shielded by this lovely tree. It's expected to be 22 degrees today and sunny. So we've walked the dogs, just got back from making sure the dogs are well exercised. I took them out earlier this morning. We're expecting them to sleep for the next 3 hours, which gives us time to go to the city, have a look around, probably grab a bit of lunch or something on the run, and then we'll come back. The way Oscar is at the moment, he's only walking for about 20 minutes and he can't do any more, so we're having to be fairly gentle on him. And Sophie's just lazy. 20 minutes, that's fine, she says. Alright, let's get on the path in and get a light jacket on, I think. Grab a camera bag and some water, and away we'll go. Well, I've just walked for about 10 minutes down the road here, which was a fairly busy road. Plenty of zebra crossings and things, so pretty safe. I mean, there's footpaths, everything. And we're now at the river. I'll show you the river, and you can see the cathedral up ahead. It's looking very pretty indeed.
We're staying at a Municipal Aire, which is a campsite.
Yeah, I did have
walking distance.
Did have a quick mention of that earlier. We ought to take a few more pictures of the campsite, because it looks. I mean, we haven't walked around it properly, but it looks really popular.
We're under the shade of a big tree, aren't we? So
we are. So we're doing all right. Take some shots here, and looks like there's a bus route if you don't fancy the walk. So here's the river, and with the footbridge, and then the other side of the river, as I said, there's plenty of parking if you wanted to bring your van down. I suspect there's probably not room down there for a van. Looking from here, I can't see any other motorhomes down there. But certainly there's been buses along this road, and this road runs all the way alongside the river up to the main city area, which is where we're going to walk to now. You can see the cathedral in a distance just down here, which looks like it's about a 15-minute walk, something like that. Well, there's a join in the river here, and two bridges together, and lots of pretty gardens. There's work going on along the river here, so we're going to go across this bridge and towards the cathedral, which you see in the background. But we've just walked along on this side of the river, actually, where we said the line of trees was, because the sun is getting so warm now. But more information boards just here, so let's keep going. Looks like the entrance to an indoor market, so we're going to go and take a look. I'll probably take stills in here. Where there's a lot of people, I've been taking still shots. Beautiful. had to stop myself for a minute. I was taking so many photographs. This beautiful city of Quimper. We're almost carried away with the beautiful little buildings and shops. We just stopped for a bite to eat and a beer, but found another little river shot here. Hope you're enjoying the photographs. I mean, you can't really capture it on video like you can on film, on stills, so I'm taking as many pictures as I can. But, just an example of one of the little areas in Quimper here. We've walked through that earlier and I didn't spot this little river coming through here. But you've got all these other little squares. And up here as well. Very, very pretty. Well, good morning. We're still at the municipal campsite at Quimper, and we've been joined by one night stays and people coming and going, and there was a bit of a party down at the university, which is just down the hill, last night, so we enjoyed the music from there until about 10 o'clock. Let's see, the grass is green and we've really enjoyed it here. It's another very different site. Now, this won't be for everybody because it is pretty basic. The toilets and showers are functional. They're quite dated. It's a municipal site. It's one of those typical council-owned establishments, but I have to say the welcome was really warm. Two ladies in the office. I've just been to pay. You pay on exit on this one. And it was €17 for a night, and that's including the 16 amp electricity. So you can't argue with that, can you? It's about 15 quid. You know, you can't argue with that. And we've spoken to one or two really friendly Germans, and there is a split in this part of Brittany. We haven't seen hardly any British people this time. It's May, so maybe it's a bit early for the English summer. And lots of Germans, and so friendly. You know, we're walking with the dogs, they'll stop and talk, and when they realise we don't speak German or French really, they're so nice. So their English is far better than any of our other languages. So anyway, quick look at the site. I'm going to just show you reception and the toilet block without trying to infringe on anyone's privacy. It's mid-morning now. We're ready to leave, and we're going to go down to the Motorhome service point, which is just downhill on the exit road. But if you're wanting to come to Quimper for the day or for a couple of nights and see the city, it's about a 20 to 25, maybe 30-minute walk, depending on how you walk. The first bit is along one of the main roads, but you're safe. You're on paths and there's pedestrian crossings. You can cross the road and go through the streets, but we preferred to go down the hill to the river and then walk along under the trees by the river, which was very pleasant. I think I'd probably put that video on in front of this, so hopefully you've seen that. Took lots of stills. There were quite a lot of people walking about in the city, so couldn't do much videoing really. It was a bit unfair. So just behind us here is the camping area and the toilets. I'll give you a shot of that now. So here's a little toilet block. The ladies and gents are separate, although there's not much separating them, to be fair. There is a disabled shower and toilet on this end, and there's washing up and recycle bins at the other end. And round the back of that building is the showers, and they are unisex, so you pretty much choose a shower and use it. The doors are on the outside of the building. So that is what you get here, this lovely sort of partially shaded tree area. We're fairly near the toilet block. There's a few pitches round here. They're good sized pitches. I reckon they're 8 metres by 10 metres, most of them. And up on the hill as well, you can see there's a typical pitch there with quite a large motorhome on it and a car. So you do find that there's a few pictures here that are seasonals. There's a road along there where a few of them I think are seasonals. But we quite like it. It's not 4-star, heated swimming pools, all that sort of thing. It's pretty basic stuff. But if you want to, we did ask for a hard stand. If you want to stay on a grass or hard stand pitch, you can't complain at, at €17 for a night in the city. Very, very good value. So we're going to head off. I might just take a picture down the bottom, the service point, and then we'll get off, and we're going to Concarneau today, which is one of our favourites. We've not been there since 2012, so we're looking forward to spending 3 nights on a campsite there for the weekend. So the campsite has a one-way system. This is the way in, up this little private road here, and when you arrive you check into the little building here. That's the reception, hiding behind the plants, and as I say, we're just the other side of the toilet block now, and here is where the washing up is, and the showers around the side there. Now, the pink jobs are all done, but the blue jobs are still in progress. There's my little cupboard. We're just draining our gravy. This is the least glamorous job of all. The nice thing about this cupboard here, I don't know if I've showed you this before, but I can get 2 of these Elson blue bottles in there and still shut the door up. Isn't that crazy? Excellent. So anyway, I'm going to empty the loo now, so I'm afraid I'm going to switch you off for a minute. I don't know about you, but I pressed the button to get water and now I don't know how to turn it off. I pressed it a couple of times, probably pressed it too many times, but I'm hoping that will time out. It just keeps going. Oh dear. I'll just what to do. Well, it was a case of don't panic, Trev. And Sue said, why don't you just turn the tap off? Well, the barrel of the tap was all loose, and I thought it was just a press button, unlike a lot of them are. But lo and behold, I turned the tap off, and with a little spanner I tightened up the barrel of the tap, and and all was well. So we made our way to Concarneau, and with a wet shoes and a little bit of a dented pride. We'll see you on the next video.